Welcome to Pharmatalks with pharmacist Adebakin. I promised you that we'll be having amazing guests on every of our sessions. Today, I bring you an amazing woman, a mentor, and someone who inspires me a lot. She is one of the reasons why I'm a supply chain analyst today. So I remember back then in pharmacy school when I participated in PLSP Quad 4, it opened my mind to a lot of things, a lot of opportunities in pharmacy. And even after pharmacy school, she has been someone I can reach out to for advice, and she never holds back. Today, I present to you pharmacist ABIMBOLA Adebakin.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma. It's a big privilege having you on board. I do not take it for granted. Pharm ABIMBOLA used to work with Tony Elumelu some years back, and then in 2017, she started Advantage Health Africa. I would like to ask, ma, what was your reason for transitioning into tech as a pharmacist? Leaving the corporate world, coming into tech as a pharmacist and all of that?
The corporate world is quite comfortable, and I loved it. I loved the work we were doing there. We were at Tony Elumelu Foundation. We were helping entrepreneurs from the idea stage up onto when they prove the concept. It was really a pre-seed, ignition engine for entrepreneurs across Africa. It's such an audacious thing to do. And I believe that the foundation worked in triggering entrepreneurship in Africa. And now I see large corporates who do similar things for their corporate investments in people, and I just love it. But it came a time when I thought, you know what, I can be an entrepreneur as well. So I realized my entrepreneurial spirit when I saw entrepreneurs doing awesome, fantastic things. You could see people like Happy Coffee. When we wanted to disburse funds was when she quickly registered the company, and so it came from an idea. It came from people like Oriki today, people that Mama Money. They were at very early infant stages, and for me, I thought, come on, my sector also needs entrepreneurial voices and entrepreneurial spirits. That's not why I left, but it became a natural consequence of saying, all right, I've done my part here as the chief operating officer. Let me move on to other things. And then it became natural that I needed to come to do something entrepreneurial and meaningful, highly impactful in pharmacy.
Thank you. I remember some years back too, when I heard about the Tony Elumelu Foundation funding for your business owner. I think about $5,000. I know I tried, but it didn't really work out.
Don't worry about that. Hundreds of thousands of people tried. So that you tried and didn't get in is not a reflection on you. It's just that the capacity to take them out, it was defined. We'll take in 1,000 every year for 10 years. Although partners came along the way and increased the numbers. But you just realize one of the benefits also was that the application process was designed in such a manner that just going through the application was of value.
So when you started Advantage Health Africa, in your early years, challenges, and how did you overcome them?
So I started Advantage Health Africa not as my first venture. So I had experience in being an entrepreneur. I had tried Advantage from while I was working at the Financial Institutions Training Center, FITC. I had hired someone and we rented a place, and it didn't work. Then it was just Advantage Health. My driver then was my research support because he would take questionnaires. We distributed to about 500 pharmacies and clinics. We wanted to understand their need for what I thought then was aggregation. I thought that with aggregating demand, we could have a better buying power. because I saw silos and so on. So
Okay.
that attempt didn't work,
Okay.
but it gave me insights from
Insights.
the research findings. More than 96% of the people that responded, and over 300 responded, said yes, they would be willing to join an aggregation or a buying group. So that idea stuck with me. Having gone through um, FITC and then the Tony and Milu Foundation, I realized that I didn't need so a large volume of resources to start.
Okay.
So when I started Advantage Health Africa, I started with my savings and some consulting income because I started consulting,
Okay.
and that helped to hire someone. We co-located in the space in VI, and then later with my husband in his office, and we started very small. I think the breakthrough for me came when I volunteered some service
Okay.
for free. And one of the pharmacies that I volunteered, pharmacist Dr. Okafor, she broadcast to everybody that, hey, come and see, oh, this pharmacist has done me well. She was here recently at my place. And I mentioned that I will always remember you for that and thank you for it. And she said, oh, but you gave me so much value. So that started my trend of working with pharmacists. My ultimate goal was let us start, just start. You start as lean as possible, and then start earning, and then eventually you get to your point.
So there you have it. Pharmacists, young entrepreneurs, your first trial is not the end. You try, you fall, you come again, and then you restart all over again. And trust me, it's going to work out.
Absolutely.
And since you started Advantage Health Africa, how have you been able to manage your team members? What's your leadership attributes that, because I know that I follow Advantage Health Africa a lot, and I see how much you post your staffs, you take pictures together, you smile together. So how do you handle it?
I think every entrepreneur has one superpower or more. You must have, because you must be bringing something to the table.
Yes.
I believe my superpower is working with people. I intrinsically believe in people. So you say I respond to your mentoring. For me, it is one of my gifts, so to speak, to be approached and to be approachable. I think that the team that I have evolved around me, believing in my vision, that in the same Africa that they say is bad, we can find solutions to healthcare, access, affordability, and quality. So first, they believe in a vision.
Okay.
Then they are drawn to probably my way of working, I think, I hope. And then thirdly, each one of them finds himself or herself within the job. I hear over and over, even from those who are leaving. Not everybody leaves nicely, but from those who leave and give feedback, they say, I am different. I have grown. I have developed. I have expanded. For me, if you can achieve that with your team and create an environment where they believe in the vision, they want to work with you, and they themselves grow, then it's great magic that you create.
Okay, so you made mention of allowing your staffs express themselves. I've had opportunity to meet some business owners, and they feel like if they allow their staffs to express themselves, they become nonchalant. Is that true? What's your school of thought for people who have that kind of mindset?
So I'm not sure where that sort of mindset comes from. I will hazard a guess that it comes from you thinking you know it all. Maybe. For some brilliant people, they know a lot and assume they know it all. I am brilliant with an understanding that my intelligence is limited. I have a certain type of intelligence, a certain type of experience, and a certain type of insight. My behavioral component dictates to me that I behave in a certain manner. I must have other types of people that behave in other manners for us to have a good blend. So that is the fundamental understanding I have. Therefore, it is to my benefit and to my success if people speak up.
True.
If they don't speak up, we'll continue on one tangent, in one way, in one manner, and it will not help the whole cause. So I really think that the more we can get inputs from other people, the better off. Now, do they communicate it effectively? Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. We had a meeting with all the interns working with us just yesterday. And while some were giving accolades and sharing the things they've learned, one of them said, "Look, I don't want to be the bad voice," but he took some time to groan and complain and go on and on about how the work was too much and we were not enabling him. So that's the reality for him. We will now tell him, "You're saying nonsense because 6 before you have said right." No. So HR is meeting with his supervisor today to understand what is going on in that unit. Why is the process so injurious to this guy that he had the floor for 6-7 minutes and all he did was complain? We must allow people speak up. Some may complain, some may give it in a very good feedback manner, but speaking up helps us to improve the system. When he leaves, he's an intern. He's just interning with us for a period. When he leaves and we improve the system, are we not better?
Yeah. Okay. So you made mention of allowing people to speak up. I used to be the state coordinator for young pharmacists was last year. And some of the challenges that I encountered was the fact that older pharmacists began to feel like young pharmacists are complaining too much. Because one of the major issues we used to have is older pharmacists wanting to pay less than what younger pharmacists want, because they feel like, and it's true, what we have found ourselves in Nigeria now is not so much fun in terms of economy and all of that. What can we do?
I think both sides have legitimate reasons to have concern. Both the employers of labor, the older pharmacists as you call, and also the employees providing the capital, the human capital, the younger pharmacists as you call. Both sides have issues. And there was a time that one of the senior pharmacists in the sector, Dr. Lulu Ojo, tried to bring both sides together to debate over a series of conversations. I'm not sure whether it worked or it didn't work, but the point is employees are underpaid and overtasked. Employers are stretched to remain in business, and cash flow is really a hindrance for them. And so both sides need to understand you have to compromise at a point in time. So one of the things we have done with my pharmacy, one of our engines, is to try to bring an understanding to both sides, particularly the owners of business, because the onus lies on you because you've got the vision. If somebody comes to work with you, does he have a job description? We don't always get it right, but even I sometimes I've had a staff leave because he just thought his work did not have boundaries. That's fine. But he left in a manner that left a bad taste. And I thought he could have done better. Rather than becoming rebellious and insulting to his managers and others around him, he could have found better ways to express himself. And I think that's the challenge to younger pharmacists. Find other ways to argue, find other ways to negotiate, come to the table with what you can give and then take. For example, it's a no-brainer that if the pharmacy is doing better and you can clearly show that the betterment of the pharmacy has come from your direct input, and you negotiate in a manner that says, if I can increase the revenue or the margins of this pharmacy from my own direct input, I'd like to get a bit of that increase. You may not increase my salary because it's a fixed cost that whether it's high or low, you will still be obliged to give me. And that's what a lot of owners are pushing against. They don't want fixed costs that they cannot fulfill ultimately. Some of them can't sleep. That's what is keeping them awake at night. But if you are able to address this negotiation from a point of value, from of course a nice way, you can't speak to me in an unnice,
way.
in an unpleasant manner and then think you'll get away with it. Who are you? I'll just call your bluff and you have to go. And it will start again with. So I may not learn unless I'm aware. So I think negotiation is one of the skills that younger people, or if you are, if you are negotiating for better terms, you must learn how to negotiate. Give value to get value. Give value. You have this pharmacy to work in. It's a lab, so to speak. It's a test ground. It's an avenue to try some of these things you think you know. So you know how to care for chronic illnesses, people with chronic illnesses. Use my pharmacy as a lab. Tell me how I can generate double my revenue from you consulting for 20, 30 of the patients that are coming in and going. Help them with their medication management. Help them with follow-up. Do something that we can charge a nice fee for, and I will split that with you. Why are you not bringing that up? All you are demanding is more money. So to the owner, it doesn't make sense that you are demanding more money. Don't you know my cost? But many people don't know your cost because you are also not communicating effectively. So on the part of the owner, I think we need better communication skills. I know pharmacies that hide the total sales per day from the staff that made the sales. And I think, what are you deriving from being secretive? I really don't understand what you derive from being secretive. I think you derive more value from being as open as necessary. You may not be fully open, but the more open you are, the more the people you are working with will understand that there are some things called fixed costs. There are some things called variable costs. There are days when we have obligations. There are days, they need to understand how the business of healthcare is working. If probably we do that better, the conflicts and the aggression, the aggressive ways we encounter one another might change.
Thank you, man. So I was having a conversation with a friend of mine who is also a pharmacist, and he was of the opinion, or from the point of view, that why don't business owners allow maybe their pharmacists to buy into their business? I mean, in terms of shares, is it visible? Is it something that can be done?
So it's possible a pharmacist may co-own with you. I think the laws also need to be adjusted in a way that recognizes one superintendent pharmacist, but it allows for directors in the business. So it's possible by law. Now, the workings of co-ownership can be tricky. Sometimes having a co-founder and you clash, there's poor chemistry between you, or the shift of power is not clear, might work for or against the parties. But that negotiation is what I'm talking about. If I can understand that you will reduce the burden I'm carrying, and you come as a co-owner, you probably bring in capital or sweat equity, and your commitment is for a period. I can vest some shares to you, not split my money or split my ownership with you immediately. Demonstrate maybe over 4 years or over 5 years. So that vesting, many pharmacists don't even know what it means to vest shares. So understanding these terminologies and how they can be applied might be helpful. Most want to work, get all the profit, do all the work, and are not schooled in how to run a business. The young pharmacist might see that if I come in, I'll bring in this, I'll bring in that, I think I need to own. When that avenue is not open, they go to open their own, and then they also become a sole owner and repeat the same errors of the past.
Thank you, ma. So I want to ask, in as a woman in a in a venture that is dominated by men, I mean in tech, how do you feel? How have you been able to keep your ground? How have you been able to keep the enterprise running?
Let me tell you, I don't even think about gender when I think of the work I do.
Mm,
Maybe it's from my background. I've
Mm.
always grown up with the stories of my great grandmother. So to my mom, that was her grandma. And you can see when she talks about her grandma that she was her, she was her star.
Mhm.
And my grandma, my great grandmother, based in Ondo, her husband then was a chief and he was one of the first to buy a car. And this story has stayed with me for a long time. And she was not permitted to ride the car. And she said to the person that was objecting, maybe it was her husband or one of his stooges, I don't know. But the story is that she asked him in Yoruba, do they use the sexual organ to drive
a
this
car.
car? Of course, that's a rhetoric question because you know that it's not the sexual organ that is used. Once you can pick up the skills, you're fine. And she went ahead to do it. So I've grown up with a perspective that isn't gender lensed. I don't get a lot of I don't wear that in many things I do. Nevertheless, for some people, it affects their business. I don't think it has affected my business. If anything, it has given me some advantages.
So for women who are having challenges like that, what is your advice to them?
I think you must come to the point where, irrespective of your gender, you command so much value that they must have you at the table. And which is why females say, oh, they have to work 3 times harder, they need to do all those. If that's what it comes to, fine. And you give it what it takes. If the dream is really important to you. But you also must set boundaries. And I think the more you become self-confident, self-aware, self-loving, you will know how to set boundaries. Many of us don't set boundaries. Female more and then male. Some male will come into an interview and brag about the things he has done and get the job. A female will not even apply for the job, despite she has more experience and probably even more years ahead of the guy. Why? Because she sees a vacancy application as an exam on how good she is. And therefore, she takes the requirements in the vacancy advert like a test. I need to tell more people that list is a wish list. It's a wishful thinking on the side of the employer. This is a dream. It's like saying this is my dream man or dream house. Before moving here, I had all sorts of visions. I didn't even have a double. I thought, come on. When this came up, it was beautiful and we took it. Same way, vacancies, when they list the requirement, it's a wish list. A woman that finds herself scoring 7 over 10 would disqualify herself. A man that finds himself scoring 5 over 10 thinks he's qualified. So the orientation has to change. Your orientation has to change. You're good enough, first of all, that it came into your awareness is an opportunity. And I believe so strongly, something that I learned very early in my career, 20, 30 years back, 20, 25 years back, that opportunities are always coming towards you or going past you. There's no one on earth without opportunity. No one. So that's the fundamental kicker for me. So I came to know about this job. Then what is in it? I will dig further. I scroll through and read an article because I'm saying there might be something in it. So I read far and wide, apply far and wide, and opportunities. I think the law of averages. You win some, you lose many. You win some, you will lose
Lose
many.
many.
If you come with that mindset that I might be rejected, I might not get to the last mile, I might meet someone who is having a bad day. It's not me having bad day. It's that
The
person
person has a
having bad day. So at the interview, the person is grouchy, the person is unfriendly, the person is cold. It's not my problem. It's his problem. His wife must have scolded him that day. Do you get?
Yes, sir.
I try as much as possible not to take on the negative consequences of things and deflect it where possible. Now, where I need to have improved, then I'll take it on and improve. But as much as possible, stop taking the rejections personally. It's very difficult.
Yes, it is.
It's not every day that we don't take rejection. We got one rejection last week, and we thought we had done very well. We had prepared everything, ducks on the row. When we did the final interview, I actually asked the person, so what will make you not pass us through? And she listed two things. And I said, oh, we've scored high on this. We have this, because she didn't ask during the interview. We have this, and we have this second one. So we didn't get it. Now we don't know what else. Maybe there was a third factor that she didn't mention, or there were just 10 of us that were super qualified, and they picked the first five. Because it will not stop me. I'll go for the next
one. Rejection comes.
Rejection happens. It is not a reflection of whether I'm not good enough. I'm actually good enough. And I think more of us in the marketplace need to understand, first of all, that you have something to add and is of value. I think that in life you must learn to know your strengths, then master your strengths. But too many people are knowing their strengths and knowing their weaknesses and focusing on addressing their weaknesses. I think that if you know your strength, master your strength, and you are aware of your weaknesses, the energy that you get from being master of your strength will help you tackle the weaknesses. I'm convinced of that.
Okay, really understood. This is outside of Advantage Africa now.
Okay.
This is kind of personal. How do you balance work, family? Because I used to see your post. You literally have a speaking engagement almost every week.
Yep. I have one more. I've had two this week. I have one planned for Monday.
How have you been able to balance it? Because I've met men who say they don't want a career woman because she would not have time to take care of family and then focus on her career. How are you doing it?
Yeah. I didn't marry a man that was that inclined. And when I married someone who was proud of me doing well. So that's so important. Choose people who will celebrate you and are mindful that you will have that lifestyle. So even from when I have my baby, I had support. And my mom would, in fact, it was my mom that was known in his school. She was the one that found the school. And she was the one picking him up. That other parents, when they saw me, they say, oh, how's grandma? So she became popular. So support is very important. Then very early, my son became used to me traveling. And I think, first, I'm blessed, I'm fortunate, because my son's temperament is the sort that if you're traveling, he's not hanging on, crying or throwing tantrums. And that was very helpful. And the thing is, I've always had support. Even up until now, I have support. So I think a supportive environment is vital. I also brought up, I think, my son in a manner that his wants and his desires, we try to fill as many as possible. But where we can't fill, we can't fill. And we're upfront with that. Take an example, we're going to a shop and I know it is Lego. Hello, it's only one we can buy. So when he's choosing, he may choose this one and then go on and then realize, okay, let me go and drop down to pick this one. and then eventually is one we come out with. I may do a bonus, but we negotiate these things up front. It's just like going to the market to buy biscuits. You tell him you buy one biscuit and one chewing gum. So he knows. I think we established that very early. I also think that I'm not your typical domestic person, and I never lied about it. I didn't try to pretend to be a cookist, a washist, a cleanist, and all of I never pretended to be. And I married at an age where I was a confident, self-assured person. So where I need to hire, I hired a driver. I remember when I was working in Accenture, I had a driver as an analyst, and all the other analysts were just buying cars. So we were at the same level, and I had a driver, and my car didn't have air conditioning. And I had a colleague, rubbish guy, buyer. He said, Mr. Bass, with the driver, no AC. And I would laugh because for me, AC was very important, but driver was more important. I hate traffic. So moving from the mainland to the island where our office was, it was just a no-brainer. You need to get a good driver. So those kind of things. So I'll hire a driver, I'd hire someone to wash my laundry. From university, someone has been washing my laundry, even up until last 10 years. He remained someone washing my laundry until things got better for him. I've always had a housekeeper. So for me, you get the support that you need. And we're very fortunate in Nigeria that we can hire people, pay them well. I don't believe in underpaying. Pay them well, but it's still at a reasonable level relative to your income. If I was living abroad, I probably wouldn't have as many people doing things around me. But even abroad now, it's more possible. It's more possible to have someone come and clean your home twice a week or once a week and do those kind of things. So it frees you up from the domestic aspects that you're not very good at. If you're not very good at, some people enjoy it.
Yes.
Some people love to go to the market. I cannot remember the last year I went to the market to buy something. When I first got married, there was a meat market stone throw away, and I went there. I bought some ingredients, and I asked the woman, "How do you make it?" And they taught me how to make it. And I made it a few times, but we got someone shortly after, so I didn't continue. My point is just be practical. If your husband is the type that needs high maintenance, then you need to realize, okay, can I juggle high maintenance with this type of work? And then find your level. Because it's important also.
So recently, you launched Buy Now Pay Later.
Yes.
How does it work? Because I know that I know of Buy Now Pay Later for phones, such that if you don't pay, you will lock your phone. So now, how does it work?
We can't lock the medicine. You've taken it. You've taken
Exactly.
it. And you're consuming it already. In my view, we're at the pilot phase, so we're learning right now. Our intention is to still address our mission. My mission and the mission of Advantage Health Africa is to ensure access, affordability, and quality in healthcare. And for most health encounters, over 80% of times when you see a physician, a clinician, you will come out with a prescription. So if I'm addressing medicines, I'm addressing healthcare in a resound, clear manner. Now, people have challenges with access. We're creating access. My Medicines is our flagship that takes medicines anywhere in Nigeria. We've delivered medicines in the hinterlands of Borno State, in the hinterlands of Bayelsa. We've taken medicine to Shekweteri. There's a CEO of a company that didn't realize we were the ones delivering medicines to his mom. And I met him a few months ago, and he just was curious what I was doing. I said, "Oh, we deliver medicine." He said, "Medicine? What's the name?" He said, "Come, are you not the one my staff has been ordering?" We've been delivering his mom's medicines for years. So that's sorted. Access, we have it, and we won several awards for our prowess with access. Quality is one of our key superpowers. We were the first to aggregate 1,000 pharmacies across Nigeria.
Wow.
Now, doing that was to first of all assure ourselves that our supply side was licensed. Our supply side has a high level of scrutiny of the product. Our supply side is so supply side had always been an issue for quality. So we've gotten that to almost perfect. What about affordability? So if you see us launching anything, just these people are launching for affordability. We've launched subscription. Just pay a token amount every month, and you will get medicines for 10 conditions. We changed it 20 conditions. We moved it 5 conditions. We've been adjusting the conditions, but pay something per month. We've launched it now in an annual manner. It's okay. My advantage is a product that people can take on, pay for a year, get access to those medicines for 30 conditions. We'll put in health insurance from the state. So we'll buy the state health insurance, basic care from the state, and we'll put in but if you don't use it, we'll give you your money back. It's not insurance. It's not health insurance. It is a fund management solution, really. Because we keep the funds, manage it, make our profit from that difference, but give you your money back if you don't use it. I think that our fixation on one or just two methods of payment for healthcare is a misnomer. We must think out of the box regarding a problem that exists. Over 80% of Nigerians are not insured. So if we keep saying insurance, fine, make it compulsory, beautiful, but it is not the be all and the solve. It doesn't solve everything. There are some who still will need alternative channels, alternative options. So my advantage is serving in that regard. It does not mean you won't get insurance. In fact, we've embedded insurance in it. You hear about embedded finance, embedded this. So we've embedded insurance in the package. That is what my advantage does. But we saw that even then. So we've got subscription basis. We've got that. We've got a subscription for chronic illnesses called My Care Plus. We've got my medicine. We then said, you know what? There are still those who need to pay later. Because how they earn, there's no cash in the pocket. Haven't you been broke? That, you are just shemijeje, leave me as I am. So you know that the food in your kitchen and your food, that's enough. I'm not spending anything. I'm going to sit and work from home. You just don't want any expense, and then a health crisis happens. What do? You don't have insurance, or you haven't gotten around to a subscription, and then someone says, here, get the medicine now. Then pay in 30 days. No interest. Why? Because I have sorted out my supply side. I can offer or extend the credit I'm getting to you, the consumer. But I'm doing it on trust. So what is the basis of my trust? I'm partnering with credit bureaus to know those I can extend this to. So the credit bureau will probably give me insights, limited insight. So that gives me some confidence that you might be someone who has not defaulted before. So beautiful. Let's see you not default on this amount. So I limit the amount, limit the catchment area. So it has to be someone that is verifiable on the credit bureau. And then you pay no interest. But if you default, we've got to get our money back. And so who funds us will fund us at an interest rate. So we pass that on to you. Now you may want to default and run away. The money is small though, but you still find some people that may want to run away. Okay. We have applied a global sweep on your account. So these things were not available before. People were mocking okra for folding up a few months ago. I said, why would you mock an industry forerunner? Someone came and said e-commerce is great, but it's limited when you can't trust. we need to begin to build our trust index. And they come, initiate with 2 others, 3 others, and they put in place a system where you can do a global sweep. So if you owe me and the account you put was GTB, I will check Zenith and check First Bank and check Access. If you have other monies hidden there, and I'll get my payment. So
it's brilliant.
If you are defaulting, we should trigger that global sweep. So we're putting in place different things because affordability is important. We will do another one soon.
So we should be expecting something from that.
Because it's all about affordability.
I was about to ask that actually.
Because should expect how much is 50K going to buy? It might address 2 million, 3 million people. But some people have catastrophic illnesses happening to them. I know some people, I got a message from my friend in Australia saying her mother in the US got this group message of someone trying to raise 22 million for oncology meds. 22 million. But guess what? They had properties in place. They had houses and land. They wanted to sell. Nobody was buying. Imagine they had also a health saving plan. So we're going on in that direction too. So when you look at Advantage Health Africa and see us addressing access, see us assuring you of quality, we're also saying open up different channels for affordability. This one may work for this guy. This one may work for this guy. We've got a program in Kaduna that I'm very proud of. That is increasing access, bringing the medicines into the rural areas where the farmers exist. And we're making it affordable and we're creating jobs. We created 1,500 jobs from this, new jobs for healthy entrepreneurs. Those are the things that gladden my heart. So they now have power to buy medicine.
Lastly, to round up this interview session, are there any plans for maybe young business owner who are still trying to build a brand? Do you have any advice, or are there things that you recommend that they can do to be better actually? Because
they should become borrowers. Borrow. But I'm not asking you to borrow capital. You might need to, but become a borrower. Let me show you a book I'm reading. Making It Big by Femi Otedola. What am I doing? I'm borrowing ideas from this guy. Borrow from other sectors. Borrow insights from other countries. I'm handling a strategy retreat tomorrow, the whole day, for a faculty. It's in healthcare. It's a faculty of basic clinical sciences. But I'm happy to be doing it because I'm getting insights even from their industry. I'm going to be speaking to lecturers on Monday. Some of these insights will help with that. There is no sector that you can learn from. Most people, if you're a pharmacist, you go for only pharmacy-related programs. Go for media and tourism-related programs. Attend a webinar, free. Many of these things are now free.
Yes.
I'm not saying you should be everywhere, but I'm saying, remember my thesis that once it comes to your attention, there might be something to learn from it.
Yes.
I borrowed an idea from the agri sector in Kenya, in a case study I saw in Kenya, where all the dairy farmers were in an aggregation and their inputs were paid for by a bank. Their outputs were banked with the bank, and the bank did all the exchange. So all they needed was paid for. All their things were sold out. They had no worries. And I've been thinking, can I do that in pharmacy? And I said, let's aggregate. That's why we came up with Advantage as an aggregator. Imagine when we're so well funded that all your inputs, so the drugs, the materials, all your inputs are sorted. Then your outputs are banked and you're just living on the margin. Imagine that day. That stimulates me. It then says we need to build this technology for it. So I didn't set out to build technology. Technology came as a
As
consequence of wanting to make sure that aggregation works well. So when we built our software called The Advantage, it was to serve a purpose. I see too many people. I still had a meeting with a young man who wants to build tech, and I'm saying tech must serve you. Can you do this without the tech? Check first of all, and then see where tech augments and catalyzes your output. So that's important. Please borrow from other sectors. Don't build for show. Build it because it makes sense for a purpose. And then as much as possible, learn from others. Read books, watch, listen to podcasts, listen to Pharmatalk, and just engage in knowing more. Lastly, volunteer. I think if you volunteer, you can see another person messing up, and you're like, okay, this is not the way to do it. So if you have an opportunity to volunteer, you might learn from their successes. You might also learn how not to do it. I see too many people wanting to volunteer and be paid. I'm like, you should cherish the opportunity to learn from this person. And that's how the Igbo traders and their model of having people on apprenticeship. I don't know about 7 years, but if it's 7 years that works for you to assimilate, then fine. But find where you can be an apprentice and take learnings from that.
All right. Thank you so much, Ma. Any final notes from you as we round up this session?
I'm excited by all the new vistas that are opening up in pharmacy. Digital, health finance, media. You're doing this. I've always been saying we need more people in media because the more we can speak the language of those we are serving, the better. I want to see more pharmacists in cybersecurity and digital technology. I want to see more pharmacists embracing other professionals. Embrace a doctor. Whether you hire a doctor or you partner with a doctor, fine. Embrace a medical doctor and get your solution to the right place. Embrace an economist or a HR person and understand how medicine and buying consumer behavior works. Just say use pharmacy as a foundation, as a launch pad. There are too many people giving up on pharmacy too quickly. That's why we started the PLSP, the Pharmacist Leadership Stimulant Program. It's in conjunction with PCN, because the former registrar was frustrated with people leaving and there were vacancies and they were not going for their internship. We coined it in such a way that know that there are opportunities. So when you started and said that supply chain has opened up to you, brilliant. Supply chain was outside our purview before, and non-pharmacists were coming to handle the supply chain of medicines across the world. We need to be more immersed in it. So I want more pharmacists in finance, more pharmacists in supply chain, more pharmacists in human resources, combining, more pharmacists in media, of course, tech, several other aspects. And then we can build pharmacy to be most relevant and we can collaborate. The sky is big enough. It's big enough. I've not seen birds collide. The sky of healthcare as a business is big enough. We're just scratching the surface.
Thank you so much, Ma. So there you have it. Young pharmacists, you don't have to run. Use your pharmacy knowledge as a launch pad and use it to embrace other sectors. Expect more from Pharmatalk. I remain your host, Pharmacist Adebisi Babatunde Ajela. Thank you so much. Thank you so much,
Thank you for having me. I'm honored.
Thank you, Ma.
And I wish you the best.
Thank you.